Welcome back to CRASHTON Talks. This is episode 5 and thank you for tuning in. I wanted to do an episode where it's just myself in front of the mic, in front of the camera, just to kind of recap some stuff over the past couple of episodes and just discuss some of the kind of topics. The first one I wanted to kind of go over was something that I spoke about with Fat, where I was kind of talking about like, you know, the thing that attracted me to like just entertainment and stuff in general was like this idea of sort of validation and wanting to be sort of appreciated, and I think like a lot of people, like kind of Fat had mentioned, a lot of people can like do feel like that in general, like, and like seek it from kind of somewhere, but I think in me, like, there was always a part of me that knew that wasn't right, and kind of like just having time to regurgitate things. Been thinking about like what were like my failures, but like what did I like deliberately walk away from? You know, like it's so easy when you get to like I'm 30 and you get to a period of your life where you can be a bit resentful maybe towards people, or just like whether it's like record labels or all that kind of stuff, like for not signing you, or like promoters as well. You can be quite resentful towards folk just kind of involved in the industry for not like taking you on. But like a lot of the time, you know, like a lot of it is you need to kind of step back and think, well, like what role did I play in this? I also mentioned in the last episode about a TV show that I was on, and originally I was going to approach talking about this and kind of tear the show apart, but really the aspect of it that I want to discuss is like, and I've auditioned for a couple of shows, so I can actually speak about this and not directly say which TV show it was, right? But I got to a particular stage of this talent show. It was a singing TV show, and after it, that I felt kind of resentful towards some people in my life where I thought it was sort of their fault that I gave it up, and what basically happened was I didn't take an opportunity in the show, deliberately kind of messed it up so that I could come home, so come back to where I'm from, and I'd kind of convinced myself over like a couple of years that, you know, other people were responsible for that. But really, when I think about it, I don't think that I could have went through with everything that was required of the TV show, and like, you know, I noticed when I was down there's some people who like sit and have a conversation with you when you're down there, and you're like in the moment with them. You make friends and everybody's sort of in the same boat. People have came from like bands, or they're just maybe a singer that can't write songs and doesn't, or they're just they have a day job and they've never even took a step into the music industry, so this is their only way of getting in. And you'll have conversations with these people, and it'll be like this. It'll be like you just sort of sharing information. Everybody's got like a story and they're quite interesting, they've got something to say. But where I felt, there was myself and a couple other people, I felt like we differed from a lot of people that end up in this show, is that as soon as the cameras start rolling, they become someone else, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, like that's just what it takes if you want to go through with being that kind of, like being in that kind of environment and getting to the stage where you could win a talent competition. And I don't know, you'll notice like throughout these podcasts, like I don't know how this thing works, do you know what I mean? I don't, like, all I know is that I want to make like a living from music. I want to be involved, I want to have a voice, just like a lot of musicians do, and you get caught up in feeling like you need to pretend to be a certain type of person to do that, instead of just being yourself. And I think like that is why I messed it up for myself, if that makes sense. Because I can't imagine like being as nervous and as socially awkward as I am on a fucking national platform. Like, it just doesn't seem like the right thing to be doing. But hopefully doing this kind of thing, the right kind of people who feel like socially awkward or struggle mentally, or don't even know if they struggle mentally, they just like me, just think, I don't know, that there's something else that's wrong. But yeah, if you're that person that's tuning into this podcast, like, this is for you, right? This episode and this podcast is what I'm doing. Kind of feel like Joe Rogan is sort of like a guy who knows something about everything, but I kind of feel like I'm a little bit like a guy who knows nothing about anything, if that makes sense. So if you're looking for like ripe information from this podcast, it's really not the place to be. If you like social awkwardness, someone who can comfortably sit in front of a camera and talk about nothing for a good 30 minutes, then you found the right thing. The other thing I will say, if you're watching, I apologise, I always reference the camera, right, because I'm talking to the camera. If you're listening, this won't affect you, but what I've done is I've set up a better camera for this version of the podcast where it's just myself. For some reason I can't get this camera to film for longer than like 30 minutes, and you'll notice the quality's a lot better. But the other ones with the interview and stuff, I'm working on getting a better camera for the interviews. You'll notice it's just the quality's not that great, but persevere and we'll make things better. As spoken about in the last episode, I've got my £1 million teleprompt here. It's one of the things that I'd written down about, I kind of wanted to talk about, was like kind of cool gigs that I'd done, and just kind of in general, like some cool gigs that I've done with the band Fluorescent Arts that I played in. We supported a band called Finch, who like at the time it was like 2013, and they were doing their 10-year anniversary tour. And it's weird because like it was a 10-year anniversary of an album that they put out, but the reason we got that gig was because the guitarist in the band, like a lot of people at the time, we were being like financially backed by an independent manager and record label, and a lot of people at the time would like every single like stepping stone that we got, like everything that we ended up doing, everyone was like, oh, that must be because they've got financial backing, or they've got this person helping them out, so it must be because of that. And like there were cases where that was maybe true. Like there's tours and stuff. In fact, I don't even know if there was a tour that we did a buy on, but it was definitely in discussion. We were in talks with bands about buying onto their tour and stuff, and that's a whole other aspect we can talk about at some point. But yeah, so the guitarist in Fluorescent Arts, Martin, he basically just messaged Finch on Facebook and was like, we're a band, we noticed you're playing in Glasgow and we'd like to support you. And they let us open for them in the ABC in Glasgow, which was really cool, man. It was crazy. We got to sit and like chat to them after it and stuff. Spent a lot of time in it's called the Green Room with them. And something I didn't know about them is that they were managed by Tom DeLonge at one point. We got talking about the bands that were like sort of around at the time they were kind of big, and the scene and the record labels that were around at that time, and we got talking about Tom DeLonge. Tom DeLonge was like basically who I tried to base my style of guitar playing like when I was younger on, and they were saying how Tom DeLonge used to manage them, and yeah, I won't get into the specifics about what happened with them, but it was just really fun. It was a cool, weird story. Yeah, so I thought that, like, it was funny that Martin had just sort of sent this message to Finch and got us a gig. Because a lot of people think, like, you need to try and open all these different doors to get things that you want. Even now, like, I convince myself that that's the case. Which is something that I spoke about with Demo. I'm like, oh, I need to do this gig because that'll lead to that gig, and I need to do this and I need to do that. And sometimes it's just about, like, sending them an email and being like, alright, I like your music, can I play with you? Like, that's it, man. And the Finch thing was, like, particularly weird because there's maybe people around the same age as me that were into that sort of whole Kerrang era. And the first time I heard Finch was because I bought a magazine, like a Kerrang magazine, and you got an actual VHS tape with it that had, like, all the music videos of the bands that were in the sort of, like, alternative charts at that time. Then, like, Finch was on it. The Times Like These video by the Foo Fighters was on it. I think there might have been, like, a Jimmy Eat World song on it as well. There was a good few bands that were on it. So yeah, that was, like, a weird gig. And another weird one was we done a tour of, we got a short sort of 10 day tour of Asia. We played, like, Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and we played in Singapore. And the Singapore thing was like a festival called Music Matters. It's kind of like South by Southwest, but Asia's equivalent of that. So it's like there's people from, like, the music industry that are doing, like, panel talks, and there's gigs going on all over, like, this kind of central part of Singapore where all the sort of bars and that are. So we played, like, a few gigs in the bars, and then every band got, like, a slot on the main stage. So you would play around all these bars to sort of gather, like, an audience, and then hopefully them plus all the people that are already watching the main stage will get to see you when you eventually play the main stage. And the night we got to play the main stage, we went on and we came off and we had to go and play in this other bar, like, right after it. And so we done that, we packed up, went over to the bar, played, like, a 20-minute set, and then when we came out, Boyce Avenue were, like, on the stage, which is, like, really, really nuts, man, because, like, a lot of people who maybe watch, like, YouTube covers and stuff like that will know all about Boyce Avenue, and, like, every song that comes out in the charts Boyce Avenue have covered, and they always do these really kind of beautiful versions of the songs. And I'd went to see Boyce Avenue twice before, like, in Glasgow, before we were actually playing on the same fucking stage as them. It was just weird, man. And I don't know, because, like, there was a green room. So, like, there's, like, the main stage and the place that we played, this sort of, like, marquee type place. I think that's the right word, I don't know. So we came off stage, you would come off stage and the audience were sort of, like, fenced in, if I remember it right. You would walk round and then there was a door that went into, like, this separate building, and upstairs was the green room in this building. And I remember there being, like, other sort of, like, there was, like, YouTubers and like singer YouTubers that were there, and bands, but I don't remember seeing Boyce Avenue when we were up there. Just weird. It was just a kind of cool memory that we came out and they were playing. It was fun. And now, being in a wedding band, like, quite often we'll get, like, requests for, like, Boyce Avenue versions of, like, first dances and stuff like that. So there's just all this weird sort of synchronicity that happens throughout your life. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of wrap things up, I think. But before I go, I wanted to, if you're a musician, or even if you're not, and you just want to try your hand at maybe recording yourself singing and all of that stuff, that, don't worry, this isn't like it is an advert, but it's not like a sponsored ad for the show. Like, I'm not receiving any money for this, just want to kind of do this as a sort of helping hand to the studio that I'm going to mention, and also if you're a musician, you're watching it. Unit 55, who are a recording studio in Cumbernauld, are doing a deal, so you can go and record for like 2-3 days or whatever, a day if you want, and it's basically £100 a day, which is a really, really good deal, especially if you want to just record some demos. What a lot of people do, what I like to do, is go into a studio and just track drums, or track drums and bass, and then I'll take it home and I'll like track guitars and vocals and stuff like that. So if you're kind of like tight on a budget and stuff, it's a really good deal, and it's out on by the end of February, I think the deal will go out. But so Unit 55, and if you message them and just say crash, like just use the code CRASHTON talks, just mention it, and hopefully they'll let you use it. If not, then I'm just talking bollocks, you know. What I'll try and do, right, is it's a guy called Andy O'Dell who owns Unit 55, and if by the end of February you come to want to use this discount code, and he says, look, it ran out at the end of February, right, you're not getting into record, what I'll do is I'll phone Andy up and I'll go, here, I'll go here, they watch my podcast, right, they listen to my podcast, and see if you don't give them the discount that you made me, right? You phoned me up, you emailed me, you texted me, you harassed me to say on my show. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to prank you. Alright, Andy, if you're listening, I'm going to prank you. And this will be especially weird for Andy, because it wasn't Andy that asked me. I asked him if I could do this. So yeah. Anyway, as always, talking absolute shite. Cool, I'm going to go, and I'll see you next time with hopefully a guest, and less of this awkward chat, less of this fucking constant everlasting life